There's a narcissistic idiot in the White House. Let's talk about his supporters. What is up, you heathens and demons, you beautiful, blasphemous people? Welcome back to Nakasuchi. I'm your boy. And today we're going to be looking at Donald Trump, and I'm going to be asking a very relevant question, and that is, how in the fuck can anybody support this guy? This guy who can't even speak. This guy who is the antithesis of America, the antithesis of Christianity, and yet evangelicals support him.
You know, I wanted to read you this, Eddie. Sure. Pete Wayner wrote it yesterday. He said, the president draws energy and purpose from maliciousness and transgressive acts, from attacking the weak, the honorable, and even the dead. Donald Trump is not well, and as long as he is president, our nation is not safe. I want to say it again. Maliciousness and transgressive acts, from attacking the weak, the honorable, and even the dead. You know, Eddie, we're going to be showing a poll that shows that evangelical Christians still remain loyal to this man, and I must say, if so, there is just, again, there is nothing consistent with the teachings of Jesus. And when I say nothing, I mean absolutely nothing.
But we all know this. We all know that evangelicals have latched on to the Republican Party, and now they just strictly play team politics. They have lobbied and influenced their way into pretty much owning the Republican Party right alongside the oligarchs. And they have a man that panders to them. But this video isn't about Christian support of Donald Trump. We all know about that and laugh about it because it's hypocritical as fuck. This video is about atheists that support Donald Trump, because I can't understand that. You know, I used to be very naive, and I used to think that most atheists were left-leaning, and I've learned that it's probably 50-50 or maybe more right-leaning atheists because of old anti-SJW, anti-feminism content. But I can't understand how atheists can support Trump. Atheists were supposed to be the smart guys, right? We're supposed to be the ones that really research this shit. I mean, atheists supporting a president that panders to Christians is bad enough, but atheists supporting a president that can't speak?
She shouldn't treat the United States that way by saying, what an absurd, she said absurd. That's not the right word to use, absurd.
The members of our armed forces, and you understand that very well, the members of our armed forces have always lived, also calling upon all 50 states to immediately waive all applicable state taxes as well. Despite these obstacles, Karen, the members of our armed forces, and you understand that very well, the members of our armed forces have always lived by the word of Douglas MacArthur.
So he can't even speak. And I can't understand how atheists or secular people can even get behind this person who can't even speak. Shouldn't you want your president to be somebody that can speak? And let's not forget that he is ultimately the king of all oranges.
They now go and take a look at the oranges of the investigation, the beginnings of that investigation about the Mueller report. The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges, how it started, the beginnings of the investigation, how it started.
I mean, outside of the fact that this is exuding symptoms, early symptoms of dementia, like the man can't speak. So I really can't understand how atheists, who are supposed to be intelligent free thinkers, doing the research, can support somebody that doesn't speak well. And to top it off, he and his vice president Mike Pence have been pandering to fundamental evangelicals since the moment they took office. Pandering to them even though Donald Trump is clearly not a Christian.
mentioned the Bible. You've been talking about how it's your favorite book, and you said, I think last night in Iowa, some people are surprised that you say that. I'm wondering what one or two of your most favorite Bible verses are, and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. You know, when I talk about the Bible, it's very personal, so I don't want to get into verses. I don't want to get into.
There's no verse that means a lot to you that you think about or cite.
The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Donald Trump is clearly not a Christian. Donald Trump clearly doesn't know any passages from the Bible. Donald Trump hardly goes to church. Hardly. Only really started going to church every once in a while once he became president. Donald Trump used to identify as an atheist, and I'm really glad that he doesn't anymore. Outside of the fact that now that he's perpetrating this pose status of a Christian, he's pandering to fundamentals, and it's very negative for our country. So this is another reason why I just really can't understand how any atheist, and I'm trying to understand, so please explain it to me, how any atheist can support this man.
Even to cite a verse that you like.
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal. I think it's just an incredible, the whole Bible is an incredible, I joke very much so. They always hold up the Art of the Deal. I say my second favorite book of all time. But I just think the Bible is just something very special.
Like seriously. Let's grant the premise that Donald Trump is a Christian, believes in Jesus. He just said that the Old Testament is equally as great as the New Testament. Now we all know what an atrocious piece of shit that Old Testament is. We all know the atrocities that God endorses. We all know that most Christians go out of their way to disassociate themselves from that Old Testament. But not Donald Trump. No, he says equal. So I have to ask atheists, like if you're willing to support Donald Trump running for office, that's I mean, by his own words there, that equates to supporting Matt Powell running for office, who clearly thinks that the Old Testament is equally as great as the New, who clearly endorses Old Testament dogma and wants to place it on modern society and modern culture and create a genocide of gay people, because that's the Old Testament. But we all know Donald Trump isn't good with his words. But I have to ask atheists, why? I just don't understand it.
Taking his questionable rhetoric to new heights, President Trump talked about himself in biblical terms. At one point, looking to the sky as he praised his handling of the economy as godlike.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it. So I'm taking on China. I'm taking on China on trade. And you know what? We're winning.
So Donald Trump thinks he's some kind of God emperor now. You know, I was wrong for equating Trump to Hitler and Nazis and all that shit. I was wrong. Everybody said I was wrong and I shouldn't do it. And they were right. I was wrong. I should have been equating Donald Trump to Julius Caesar because he thinks he's fucking Caesar.
Tweeting, "Thank you to Wayne Allen Root for the very nice words. President Trump is the greatest president for Jews and for Israel in the history of the world. And the Jewish people in Israel love him like he's the king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God."
You know, I've always found it really weird when people talk about themselves like that, you know, refer to themselves in the third person. I find that weird. I find that just kind of sick. But look at what he's saying there. He is literally saying that he's the second coming of God, peddling to that narrative that's out there from these crazy religious fundamental people, that he's God's chosen. He was sent by God to fix this country and make it Christian again. And there's atheists that support that? I don't understand that. And I'm really wanting to try to understand people better. So I'm opening up this conversation. And I'm asking you, if you're an atheist and you support Donald Trump, how the fuck can you do that? As always, I'm your boy Nakasuchi, the little bear. If you like my videos, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, share me on your social media, comment in the comment section below. Be the conversation. I'll see you soon.